welcome back, and happy Monday, everyone. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and stay tuned because every week I will be coming with a weekly tarot. This one in particular is for the family. So this does not just apply to families with small children. This is your, families, period. Parents, guardians, children of all ages. We may have some adult children, and you know, so this is just a message to help to guide you all through your week, the way that you all may be relating in your relationship, some of the things that may come up within the family, with your children, or with you as a parent or a guardian. And so this week, basically, I pulled playing cards. And some of you may be familiar with cardology, I'm not sure, but I put these cards just to show the energy that we're looking at for the week. And then I pulled just my tarot cards, one of my favorite decks, actually, so that we could get a clear picture of how we were going to be experiencing these energies. And it's actually really funny because they actually kind of look like the same cards in a way to me. So it's very interesting that the message is just coming through very strongly this week. And so first off, I want to say that especially in the beginning of the week, you may find yourself getting into some different patterns of thought, shifting your perspective, elevating your thought. That Nine of Clubs is going to talk about a higher knowledge. And I would also say making sure that you all are being very aware of your anger during the beginning of this week. Just for family, just in terms of family, you're wanting the energy to be peaceful and loving, even in the midst of change. You want that change to be something that's harmonious. You don't want to create a whole bunch of jagged edges and that kind of thing, because we've got anger flying out kind of sporadically. And so with this Nine of Clubs, allow that fire energy to transform and really kind of ignite this birth of newness that's getting ready to take place. We're in a space of graduation. And so allowing yourself to realize, okay, any space where there is anger coming up, any feelings of maybe even sadness, you may feel some sadness, making sure that you are paying attention, because those are areas that are pointing to ways in which the mindset, the perspective has been outgrown. And so more so pay attention to it in those ways so that you can move in a healing and loving way versus in a reactive way. All right, so that's the beginning of this week. And as we move through a week, we're going to move through a space where, you may find yourself sacrificing for children. It may have something to do with in their relationships, making some decisions so that they are more secure, so that they have greater connection, or they're just in a better space. I just keep feeling a togetherness, and it may require you to kind of do some different things. For instance, like my son has a Halloween party that he's going to, and I've got to try to, work that out with work schedules and just, all of this kind of stuff. And so I'm already looking at towards the end of the week, there being maybe some kind of sacrifices or some things that are being done in order for him to be able to have that kind of collective energy experience, right? Okay, so the Two of Hearts talks about relationships. It talks about love. It can talk about the self, but more so like those partnerships. And I really feel this thing around like true love, faded love, that kind of thing. And so for parents, you may find that there may be, if you all have been co-parenting and you're kind of like, okay, what's this going to be? What's this, what is this looking at? You may have some things take place this week that cause you to be open to some kind of shifting or changing. It feels more positive. It doesn't feel like this is negative, but a shifting or a changing in the way that you all are relationally. for the children in part. But I feel like this greatly impacts the family. It greatly impacts the children in particular. Okay, so those are just the energies, right? And just some of the things that are coming up as I'm looking at these cards. Now, when I'm looking at Maker 2 responsibility, again, you have this creation, this baby that has been born or that is being created in the midst of being created because it's still connected. And you have these butterflies, which is this partnership of transformation, of transmutation. And this baby is connected to what looks like this dark hollow space, but think of it as like the womb is dark, you know what I mean? And so it's very much connected, it's very much nurtured and taken care of. And so it feels like this week there may be some things about responsibility and maybe greater responsibility. Maybe there are some things to that are, there may be some things that are more of, okay, this isn't what's needed versus what's wanted. And you'll find as you move through that even though it was something that was needed versus something that was wanted, you'll find that it's going to lead to an outcome that supports what you want as well. But making sure that you're really paying attention to those responsibilities and kind of upping your game. I feel like, there's going to be a need for there to be some openness, some self-discipline as well, and really allowing yourself to flow rather than trying to force things to take place. It's like this is Maker 2, so it's still action, but this is all about the creation. And so we're still talking about the way that the feminine creates. And so being in a space where you're open to receive, where you're grounded, where you're centered, where you're open to what is being created and what could be being created, what's possible basically. So that's for the beginning of the week. And then we're going into Warrior 4, Foundations Blessed. Again, this is a really, energetic, high energy kind of card, but it's also very foundationally strong. You are looking at, again, partnership, a coming together of heart and mind, of soul and spirit, of the higher and the lower realms. And this is what's really giving birth to this foundation being strengthened, this foundation being blessed. And it feels like, there may have been some things that you all have been wanting as a family. So I'm speaking more in particular to parents and guardians, parents, whether you're co-parenting or, you all are actually together and doing it as a team, or whether or not you are a single parent who's doing it by yourself. It feels like there are some goals, some things that you have been wanting. And then at the same time, some things that's been in the heart that's been needed, that's going to be coming full circle, or I should say, is going to be manifesting itself in some new ways and in some ways that really bring fulfillment. And again, this feels like, all these changes are going to greatly impact the family. It feels like it's going to be for the greater good, but it feels like this is really going to be a learning thing. So making sure that you're taking your time. Do not try to jump into it thinking that you know exactly what it is or what it's going to be, but just allow yourself to be in a space of openness. Is really the only thing I can think of to say, but just allow yourself to be open. Be open to new ideas, to different perspectives. Be open to messages that are given that are not necessarily what's spoken. And trust, right? Trust your insight. Trust your trust the energies that are coming, and it feels like you may even be needing to lean into trusting that thing that you feel is just too good to be true, or too like, can this really be? Is that really possible? That kind of thing. It feels like you're getting ready to kind of go on like a wonder trip. So so be willing to lean into the areas that you don't necessarily understand how it's possible, or you just don't necessarily see the full picture in. Okay. And so then we end with Dancer King, Dreamer 5. And so again, this feels like there is a letting go. There is a shifting of the mind that has taken place. There's a transformation of the mind that's taken place. And because of that, there is this release. There is a surrender. There is a sacrifice again. And so mentally looking at this thing and saying, okay, well, with this greater knowledge that I've come into and this power, I've been able to transmute these fiery energies, or maybe these watery energies. Maybe, it's been just a flow of emotions or a flow of things that have been taking place. And so, whether it be in your mind or your heart, and really just being in a space where you are like, okay, I've come to a clearing. I'm coming into a clearing, and I'm now seeing what it is that is really, really valuable. I'm really, really seeing what it is that is worth it. And I'm seeing the things that have not been, or no longer serve me, or no longer serve my family, or ways of being, ways of thinking, especially, right? We're talking about the mind, we're talking about communication. So those kind of things that are not serving us, it's like, okay, let's sacrifice those things. Those things are being sacrificed for the wisdom, for those things, that greater good that's coming in. And it feels like a lot of it is around, again, you're going to have things around children, and I just keep feeling family. The Four Hearts is not up, and that's typically what talks about the family. It talks about, that kind of family structure and those relationships and that kind of thing. But I'm really, every time I look at that Jack of Hearts, is what I'm feeling is family. And so this is going to be a really good week for the transformation. Just allow yourself to be open, because if you're allowing yourself to be in a space of anger, you may find yourself hitting some walls that you have been hitting repeatedly. And so the trick this week is really going to be to be open, to be in a space of allowance, and really being open to being shown a different perspective, even if you're not sure how to get there right now. Okay. Alrighty. So that is what we can look forward to this week. By the end of the week, there has been, this clarity that's come, and decision has been made on, okay, what needs to be kept, what needs to be released. And not that you won't continue to make those decisions moving forward, but you're going to have made some decisions that really catapult you into the change that's going to be for the better good of, your life, for your family, for your children, for yourself. So allow for these transformations to take place. We are in a beautiful time, as intense as they are. This is an energy that's coming about of the harvest, both light and shadow aspects of it is, so make sure you all are conscious and aware. Make sure that you all know where your children are. Make sure that you all are paying attention to the feelings and little inklings you get, right? Because as beautiful as the time as it is, it's also has some very more shadowed energies that are flying about. So just be mindful, never fearful, always mindful, always using wisdom, right? Even more so. And allow for that wisdom to be the thing that allows you to really take in the harvest that is meant for you, because we're getting ready to go into some phenomenal changes, both in our world outside and our inner world. So I look forward to meeting with you all again next week. Again, if you got something, please like, subscribe, follow. I pray that if you all have anything that you all would like to share, shoot me an email, or you can leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. All right. Bye.